This is a sevillanas. Sevillanas possible is the easier flamenco form to accompany. For the guitarist, as soon as you learn how to play 4 sevillanas, you can accompany any dancer, professional, amateur, any dancer you can be able to accompany. For the dancers, that no make a difference the melody that we play. They just follow the rhythms. And of course, they have 4 different parts and each one have a different choreography. Very easy to accompany. You can accompany right away. But we want to include the sevillanas in the video because sevillanas are one of the more popular flamenco form among the flamenco music, of course. Now we are going to do a farrucas. Farrucas is a little bit more difficult to accompany. My advice for the beginner in accompany flamenco dance is count the amount of phrases in between each step and divide it by section. For example, in this particular farruca that we are going to do, I am going to play first one introduction by myself. Can be as long as you want, 3 phrases, 4 phrases, whatever you like. And the dancer is going to start. The first section of the dancer, she had 3 phrases, and after that, she produced the desplant. The second section, she had 8 phrases, and also she had a desplant. The next section is 4 phrases and desplant, and the last one is 10 phrases and desplant. Of course, in the future, when you already learning how to accompany, you can improvise. You don't need to count. Everything comes just by inspiration, came because you develop, of course, more knowledge, and just look at the dancer and you know right away what you have to do. Until then, my recommendation to be sure that you are always with the dancers is to count the phrases in between each step. Watch and see how we do the farrucas. we are going to do tangos. Tangos are very similar of the farruca. The rhythms is the same thing, 4/4 time. One flamenco phrase have 8 count. I recommend do exactly the same than with the farruca. Make it the dancer, do the entire choreography for you first, and count how many phrases in between step and step. In this particular choreography, we have 4 phrases and step, and every 4 phrases change a little bit of the choreography. One time you go to the footwork, another time with the arm work, another time body, another time move the face, different parts of the choreography and different mood. But every 4 phrases, we have the step. If you follow the instruction, it will be very easy for you to be accompanying a flamenco dance very soon. Now, tangos. Now we are going to do soleares. The compás of soleares is divided in 12 count. Each phrase have 12 count, but we call in Spanish compás. From now on, I'm going to refer to compás. Follow the dance, check the choreography, be sure how many compasses from one step to another. The idea to step exactly on the same time of the dancer is because if you don't do that, looking like mistake, we are supposed to synchronize the last beat of the music with the last movement of the dance. They look very professional and beautiful, of course. In this particular soleare, we divide it in 4 sections. The first section has 10 compasses. The second section, 7 compasses. And the third and the fourth, also 10 compasses each. Let me show you first one compass, then you see the count. How you see, these have 12 count. The reason that we want to synchronize the step with the dancer is because it's the more important part. Now, from the beginning to the end of the first section, I say we have 10 compasses. When I say 10 compasses, does not mean that you have to play only the rhythm in this way. You can make falsetas for the amount of those 10 compasses. Now, we are going to do the soleares. Now we are going to do romeras. Romeras is a form of alegrías. The difference is that alegría we play in A when we accompany the dance, and romeras we play in C. But the phrases or the compass, of course, is exactly the same, 12 count in each one. Look for the same thing than in the previous presentation. Count how many compasses from one step to the net. Another thing that you have to look when you accompany is to be sure that try to match the accent of the dancer with the guitar, because it does not look good either than the dancer doing something very fast and you do something that maybe is slow and doesn't match the accent, or reverse. Sometimes the dancer do something beautiful, some artwork, just to move the arm. And of course in this moment better to accompany with some phrases soft like tremolo, arpeggio, and so on. Try to match. This is what makes the dance a beauty. And now we are going to do romeras. Now we are going to do alegrías. Alegría have the same rhythms of romera. El compás is composed of 12 count. Alegría have a different section. Each section is recognized by the name. Like for example, the first one with the dance start we call salida. After the salida is another section called farceta. After the farceta, we have the first escobilla, which means the footwork. After we are going to have the paseo. After the paseo is a second escobilla, and from there we change to the bulerías. I recommend count how many compases are there in each phrase, because the dancer can make it longer or shorter. For example, in the way that we set up, the first part, the salida, is covered with 14 compases. After the salida, we are going to go to the farceta. The farceta is made of 6 compases. After the farceta, we are going to do the first escobilla. And in the first escobilla, we have 8 compases. After the escobilla, we go to the paseo, and paseo is made of 4 compases. After we go to the second escobilla, and the second escobilla, we have 14 compases. And after the escobilla, we change to bulerías, and we have 10 compases include the desplante. Of course, I recommend, or when you accompany, even if you memorize all the compases in between each part, keep your eye or on the dancer, because the dancer can change. Sometimes can make it shorter or longer. Can make it a escobilla, and instead of 14 compases, she can make it 16, or she can make it 10. Be sure to look at it. Never be confident completely to say, I have to make only 14 compases, and this is. Your eye or we have to be on the dancer, no matter what movement the dancer is doing. Now we are going to do the alegrías. Now we are going to do zapateado. Zapateado is a dance where the dancers show more the footwork than any other thing. Zapateado, the rhythms or the compass is making 8 count. Each phrase have 8 count. The first section that we are going to do have 14 compasses. After, I am going to play a falseta and cover 6 compasses. After that, I have to play another part very important in the zapateado. This is what identifies the zapateado. This melody is called las campanas. Campana means the bell. This is a beautiful melody, but we have to synchronize each note exactly with the sound of the footwork of the dance. We have to keep looking at them. It's easy to play, but difficult to accompany because you have to keep watching the dancer and exactly on the same speed that she does, we have to do with her. This is the only difficult part. La Campana is a beautiful melody, and you can see how I try to synchronize to perfection. This is the more difficult part of the zapateado. Now we are going to do for you zapateado. This concludes our presentation. But before we finish, we would like to do bulerías. Because every dance that we present, was prepared, we rehearsed, of course, to prepare the dancer in the way that I recommended for you to learn. Conto the phrases, be sure how many phrases from one step to another, and so on. Now the Bulería, we are going to improvise, just to give you the idea how the improvisation is. We don't rehearse this, she's going to do capo desplante and I'm going to follow her. Of course, when you follow a dancer without preparation, you have to be completely sure about your compass, and you have to keep the eyes on the dancer and try to match the accent, try to match each step, and so on. We are going to do Bulería improvisation. This concludes our presentation. Andrea and I want to say thank you for watching our video, The Art of Accompanying Flamenco Dance. We hope that you learn something from this presentation. Thank you very much, and God bless you.